Hey gang, it's Ben Appleby here from Watermark OC. If you're anything like us, your lives have been turned upside down a little bit. We are actually moving on top of quarantine, so it's a little dynamic, suffice to say. But what I want to do is show you in this video how to adjust to set a goal for 30 days. That's kind of the one of the few silver linings you can create out of this thing. I got some of my co-hosts here, ready to jump in at a moment's notice. Improvise. This is one of the early tips right here. We improvise. We got mattresses on the floor, and you know what? It's when you can't go outside, when the parks are closed, it sure helps to have some other diversion for your young children. That's a bonus tip. But today, we're going to talk about creating habits, creating a goal in a 30-day period, and how to actually take advantage of this period and grow in some new disciplines. When all of your habits, all of your disciplines, all of your routines have been totally stripped down, how can we improvise? That's coming up. Hey gang, we are here for another episode of the Quarantine Life Hacks. And I don't know if you're anything like me, but there came a day when I realized, man, my old routine has been blown to smithereens once the stay-at-home order was issued. And first of all, I just gotta say right away, big kudos, big ups to every single stay-at-home parent, mom, dad, whoever you are, because the first week I was exhausted. So tired. I'm sleeping in. I'm not working out. The idea of work from home is definitely an aspirational goal most days. So I don't know how you guys are managing the tension, but today I wanted to do a quick 10-15 minute video with 5 points today, not 4, but 5 points, quarantine life hack on how to create a routine basically around 30 days. So that's what we're gonna do right now. All right, so this entire idea was birthed out of my breakdown in routine, coming home, being quarantined. But I saw this quote post earlier this morning on Instagram, and I just thought it was hilarious. But it also gets to the heart of what I want to try and do in this video. It says right here, if you don't come out of this quarantine with, and here are the bullet points, a new skill, your side hustle started, more knowledge, you never lacked time, you lacked discipline. Ooh, that stings, that bites just a little bit. And I love what my friend Nicole says. She says, whoever started this can come to my house and watch my 3 kids while I get productive, which is so true, so funny, because we have a bunch of small kids. And like I said before, this is the busiest, most emotionally exhausted I've ever been in my life, truly. And I figure myself as at least an average disciplined person. So I wanna get into this right now. I got 5 points. And the very first point, as we get through this tunnel, the very first point that I realized, like 10 days into this routine, or non-routine rather, point number 1 is to dress up. Point number 1, dress up. I don't know if you saw in the viral news media the moment that the woman, the mom, one of her little kids asked that she put on her wedding dress. And so she did. She literally came down to breakfast one morning with her wedding dress on. Of course, it had been years elapsed since she was married, but I just thought, man, that is actually the exact ethos of what we're trying to get after here. Maybe you've seen some of the videos and the jokes around late night hosts and news anchors filming from home. I remember the hilarious bit, the fact that they're there for a Zoom meeting or a news conference and they only have a suit on from their waist up. What I think you need to understand in this principle of dress up is it puts you back in touch with your humanity. It puts you back in touch with your personhood. It puts you back in touch with meaning and purpose and value. So get your nicest shirt. Doesn't have to be a suit. Definitely shouldn't probably be a wedding dress, because that might lead to more depression than excitement and meaning and value. But get your favorite shirt, take it out, iron it, get it ready, put on a pair of pants. For me, it was moving from my workout outfit to just a pair of jeans and a work t-shirt. So that restored to me a little bit more sense of purpose and value. That's number 1, dress up. That could be very helpful for you during this time. All right, Sheppy, I got Sheppy here in the back seat. Say what's up, Sheppy boy.
Hi.
You got any tips for our quarantine kind of life hacks here?
I dress up for church.
Yeah, you dress up for church. That's really good. Sheppy just asked while we were off camera, why are you talking about dress up, Dad? Well, I said because it basically it's fun and it makes you feel fancy. There you go. No other reason really needed. So that's number one. I have my whole list here. Number one is to dress up, okay? Dress up. There you go. Right there, dress up. Number two is 30 days. Think about 30 days. That's number two, 30 days, 30-day goals. See, what happened with this entire quarantine, this entire historical crisis that we're facing, is that our whole routine, our whole expectation was completely blown to pieces. And our goals, I mean, I saw so many of the jokes and the memes online for church, their 2020 vision or their 2020 plan or whatever. Isn't that hilarious to think that we could be completely figured out across 12 months now, thinking about the scenario we're in now? Well, think about the gift of 30 days. Just look at 30 days. We had another executive order come through that suggested the month of April, we're continue to be on lockdown, continue to be on quarantine. So guys, this is actually a gift in disguise. This can be a very useful practice for all of us to set a 30-day clock, even if we're already a few days into April. Just set a 30-day clock and sketch down, get a legal pad. Obviously my favorite little friend here, this is now the legal pad session, but get a legal pad out and sketch out some things that you think you could realistically accomplish in 30 days. Kind of to that joke earlier that I read a second ago about all the things we hope to accomplish while we're at home, be realistic. My favorite acronym around goal setting that we use as a staff at the church is SMART goals. Specific, measurable, agreed upon, which I'm going to come back to later, realistic, and time-based. So set some SMART goals for 30 days and see what you can come out of this season a little bit stronger, a little bit sharper, a little bit better. That's number two. Okay, so point number three is, you can never read it, but that's my chicken scratch right there, habits. Number three is habits. So a part of my epiphany in the last 2 weeks in quarantine was my habits have been blown to smithereens. I have none of my typical things depended on, and it's causing me to just absolutely become unstructured and lazy and honestly fatigued. Without a lack of my discipline has led to fatigue. And I realized the smallest things, from getting up at my alarm clock, I've been sleeping in way more in the first 7 to 10 days of quarantine, and I'm not having my tea or coffee in the morning. I'm not sticking to my workout or my Bible time or my sermon prep time in the morning, which all happens early morning for me. And I realized, man, I need to make an adjustment first, and then I need to put some new habits in place. And so the main thing that I want to say about habits is, first of all, you may have to die to all your old habits, and that's okay. Give yourself grace. Go back to the other YouTube video that Bucky and I did and realize that you got to give yourself grace first during this time. All bets are off. It's unusual times. It's quote unquote unprecedented, like we've all been saying. So first of all, be okay with dying to some of your old habits. And then number two, again, sit down, get a legal pad, get a friend, get a buddy. That's coming up in the next 2 points, accountability. Get someone to help you, but then write out some new habits, some new small, simple, easy wins. Remember, we're thinking about 30 days, some new habits that you think you can build in. A lot of you guys are already doing this. You're going for a bike ride, you found your bike, you dusted off your rollerblades, and you're going for walks. Great, take it to the next level, because we all know by week 2 here, we're going into week 3, remember we have another 2 or 3 weeks of this, your walk is getting a little bit monotonous itself. So maybe add another layer of what you're going to do on the walk. Maybe you're going to study something. Maybe you're going to listen to a book. Maybe you're going to read something. Maybe you're going to find a spot, of course, in isolation, get an umbrella on one of these beautiful days, and then devote the time to building into yourself. That's the whole idea that I do love about disciplines, because we didn't lack the time. We did have some time, even a little bit. Even I had a little bit of time with crazy kids in the home every single day. And so use that time to build into yourself, to create a new discipline, create a new habit. That's number 3. Number 3 is habit. Okay, number 4. Number 4 is advanced planning. So advanced planning is the most incredible tool that I've ever heard of and learned about, as my camera almost goes tumbling out the window. From the man who I learned most management skills from and a lot of organizational leadership from, Bruce Swordfinger. Shout out to Bruce from the Crossing Church. And we had this entire series as a team of planning for the future. Now, what I want to reduce that down to, because we're talking about 30-day goals, 30-day habits here, is that you need some advanced planning just day over day over day. And so what is one of the things that I've realized? I realized, and this is just like everywhere now, this is not an original thought to Ben Appleby, but one of the things I realized is, if you're using your phone for an alarm and it's right next to your bed, you are probably doomed to fail. You will not get up when you wanted to. You're gonna snooze the next 7 alarms that you set. Why? Because you don't have to get out of bed to go turn off your alarm. So I got an old school buzzing alarm clock. First of all, because the phone led to another bad habit, which was, okay, maybe I'll wake up and then I'll just put my phone in front of my face and I'll try and be stimulated and active and adrenalized by using my phone, which wreaks havoc on my brain and causes a whole nother problem, a habit I'm gonna have to replace down the road. So I got this crazy analog alarm clock that I put all the way in the bathroom, which is about 25 feet away from the bed. It forces me to get up, and once you get up and then you're by the sink, you splash some water on your face, you're moving from about 5% success in getting up at your alarm to 95%. So think of small advanced planning little tricks like that help you just one morning at a time. Not advanced planning, like I said, 3 and 6 and 12 months, but just one morning ahead. Another famous tip, let's say you want to be active and you want to work out in the morning. One of the ways to do that is to set your stuff out in the morning. You need a snack, you need a bar, you need an electrolyte beverage, you need your shoes, shorts, whatever the gear is, set it out the day before. This is a classic life hack, but we got to use it now more than ever. All right, lucky number 5. I ran out of space, so we're going up the list and over. Right here is, as my pen runs out, accountability. Accountability. So many of our goals and our new habits are doomed to fail because we try them in isolation. That's why God gave us a spouse. That's why God gave us a roommate. That's why God gave us a friend. Don't try and succeed in these 30-day habits, these 30-day goals, and new routines for quarantine. That's what this whole video is, routine for quarantine, without a friend, a partner, a buddy, a spouse. You gotta let other people in on it. They'll help watch your back. They'll help remind you. They'll help call you to this new level of routine during this very tough and challenging time. So guys, that's our quarantine life hack for today. Thank you so much for watching. We hope it's been helpful. Go ahead and post a question in the comment section or a comment of what you want to see more of, what was helpful in this video, whatever questions. We're taking all of them and we're going to create this series for this season and beyond. Don't forget to subscribe as well, because that'll help the channel really grow and reach other people, as well as you'll know about these videos as soon as they post. So thanks for watching, you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.